Alright, so Techeun Force, this thing is fantastic in PVE, and it's fantastic in Crucible. Basically, if you're playing at PVE, you can go with either charge time or reload speed. I think I'd personally choose like reload speed. The barrel for PVE really doesn't matter. I guess I'll just go with like corkscrew because you get some range and some handling. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. And then for PvE, you can either do accelerated coils so it shoots faster, or you can do something that gives it like more in the magazine. Personally, I'm gonna go with something that gives it more in the magazine because we're gonna have another brand new perk that is this controlled burst. So basically, this perk right here makes your fusion rifle into like a legendary merciless. So just it's really easy to land all the bursts, especially on bosses and majors. Mainly you'd use this for like boss DPS if you're out of heavy, but this is fantastic perk. But with that, you would use reconstruction because with reconstruction and this mag is 7, it'll put it to 14 bullets in the mag, and enhanced reconstruction will reload 1 bolt into it every 3.5 seconds. So you're gonna get a lot of shots off with this, probably like almost your entire magazine. Not magazine, like your whole reserve, like everything. I would say you maybe would miss out on like 3 or 4, but then you could just shoot like 1 or 2 rockets and it would be reloaded. You could just keep going again. You could use Envious Assassin, but to be honest, there's no purpose. Reconstruction is just better. You just have the weapon in general, and it'll just reload. Envious, you have to like get kills to do the same thing that Reconstruction already does. We Round Rounds is not as good as Reconstruction or Envious because it only reloads like I think up to like half the mag or something like that is like where it caps. It's not nearly as good. And then so yeah, this right here is like the god roll for Crucible. I'm sorry, for PvE. If you were playing Crucible with it, which was on the next point, you can do again either I mean honestly, charge time, stability, or range works. Personally, I'd pick range, and then I would go with I'm gonna say hammer forged. And this right here is very important. You go with particle repeater. And then you want under pressure, and you have a choice here. So rangefinder is really good because right now it still gives you a range bonus, so that is definitely usable. High impact reserves gives you 3.5 or 3% more damage per bolt. So in your whole thing, you're getting like 15% more damage. So that is definitely useful. It's like just really similar to having like just a nice damage perk on it. And there's also kickstart. Personally, Kickstart is a very niche playstyle where you'd use something like Antaeus or Dune Marchers or Stompies or Transversives because you have to like sprint for a bit and then you slide. So you want things that buff your slide mainly. Buffing your sprint and your slide is really, really good for this. So I think Kickstart is the best personally because it gives you a massive range increase, massive damage increase, way faster charge time. It can just annihilate people, but it's a very niche playstyle, and you have to be very aggressive, and you have to be super aware of your positioning to even use this perk. Otherwise, you'll just kill yourself. So, personally, if you're not a player who's like that and you want to play more defensive, either do rangefinder or high impact. It depends if do you want more damage or do you want more range. Honestly, there's not really much of a difference between the two. Rangefinder just basically gives you more damage at range, and then high impact reserves basically also just gives you more damage at range. They are nerfing rangefinder, so personally, I would recommend doing high impact reserves, just so that way you'd be good even after the nerf, because after the nerf, rangefinder is going to be useless on this weapon. On most weapons, to be honest. But, yeah, so, personally, I would go with this for Crucible. And then I would just use like a targeting adjuster mod for it because you don't want to put counterbalance on it because right now it's at 75 and as you see here it kicks straight up. If you were to put a counterbalance on it, it would make it like go up to the side. You don't want that. You just want it straight up and down. And make sure to drop a like.